You've selected a show from the Podcast Jukebox, a DIY podcast network.
It's Will Shawn Podcast. The internet cried out for 2 more blowhards, and they courageously answered that call. Armed with the weapon of wit, each week they're joined by guests to discuss movies, television, pop culture, and anything else that's pissing them off. Take it away, boys.
I'm Will Link.
And I'm Sean David.
And this is Will Shawn Podcast.
All the holidays are over, time to get my butt back to work. How you doing, Will?
So I'm glad you heard it because I think I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
The past couple nights, and only at night, I've been hearing this weird buzzing. And the thing is, like, it'll be gone for like a while.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it'll...
Well, it's weird because it's, you can't tell where it is.
And I can't find it. And I've wandered the apartment, and I think it's coming from somewhere
in your head.
I thought it was until Sean and then someone else the other night, my friend Anna, heard it, and I mean I'm a little in the new Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
There's like Ashley Judd is like wandering around hearing this noise coming from the Great Northern.
That's clearly what it is.
I think like I'm dealing with some Black Lodge shit here.
Well, it's that, or it's that ray they're using on the Cuban diplomats or the American diplomats in Cuba.
I feel like I would have gotten sick by now, though.
Okay. It sounds like it's in the walls. At first, I thought it was maybe the pipes, but I have no idea what it is.
Am I just gonna have to live with this? Because it's also the
When did it start?
A couple of nights ago.
It is October. I mean, people could be messing with you. It is Halloween season.
I mean, it's a weird thing to call my building manager about, like, there's a buzzing, and I don't know what it is.
like, gotcha. You're like,
Maybe he's trying to get
prank.
maybe he's trying to get you out of here. He knows you're rent controlled.
Sean. She. Like, it's 2017. Building managers can be women.
Come on.
Okay, well, everything's going well in the podcast.
What's going on in the world of Will Shawn?
We want to congratulate Stephen Brandon for the Game of Thrones musical. Got reviewed in the New York Times.
Look
it's
at
currently
that.
playing off-Broadway.
The New York motherfucking Times.
Yeah, the great lady. We want to congratulate Chris Burgock for the Florida Project having an awesome opening weekend and second weekend, and it's a little movie that could.
And I've been talking with him about him coming back on, but he's on like a festival
They're
circuit
at the Busan
thing
Film Festival right now in South Korea.
Yeah, that's the place to be.
Yeah, well, South Korea, they love the Florida, they love the little Florida kids.
So we're going to have him back on. And, of course, our friends over at the network.
At the Podcast Jukebox Network. So please, make sure that you subscribe to us on iTunes, that you follow us on Twitter, that you like us on Facebook. And, as we mentioned before with the new podcast app, it is even easier than ever before to give stars, ratings and stars to podcasts. So, do that.
And who's our sponsor this week?
The NBA, the less problematic sports league.
Okay. On a show
Short and
today,
sweet.
speaking of problematic, Harvey Weinstein.
Speaking of Ashley Judd wandering around.
I know, right? Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulting people. We'll discuss. The Star Wars trailer looks good. We'll discuss. And Rick and Morty. It's an animated show that I really enjoy. But I have a bone to pick with some of their fans, and we will get into
These
it.
fucking people.
But first, we are very excited to have with us a returning guest, a top 10 guest. He was in the first 10 episodes. So we're going way back. We're going years back. So we got a lot of catching up to do. Kevin Nice.
Hey.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be back.
What's going on?
It's been too long.
It has been.
It's been 5 years?
Yeah.
6? You guys have been on for 6 years?
Unclear.
6 years?
Yeah, closing in on 6.
Well, you have me to thank for leading the way,
Now, when you were on...
I don't think we had any, segments. I don't think there was any structure to the show.
We were still building a structure.
Ooh, let's see how this has all changed.
Nah, it's honestly, I think it's actually the same structure. But you were promoting at the time, the Cleveland
Cleveland City Chuckle Squad was
Yeah.
my comedy troupe that I was in a while back.
How's this Cleveland City Chuckle Squad going?
It's good, we've disbanded ever since, but we're all still very close friends. We just have all gotten jobs out of it, so which is kind of the point.
It was
That was the goal.
Wait, so you mean you're not
That's the
supposed to just
goal.
do the thing for 5-6 years and just return to the same activity over and over again?
We are doing this wrong. Okay, so now...
And you guys did short, so you were a comedy troupe and you made short films and music videos.
So we're the Cleveland City Chuckle Squad was a Los Angeles-based comedy troupe made up of myself and 4 other friends from college, and 5 actually.
One's dead now.
Yeah, it's for real.
Seriously?
No.
I feel like you might have stumbled into something.
You don't know. I mean, the world's a terrible place lately, so anything can happen any day. That was dark. So we used to make videos and sketches about anything that was relevant, and we would then just try to beat SNL to it. Not that we had an audience that rivaled SNL by any means. Yeah. But we just felt a need to make a video that could had the potential to go viral. So it was fun. It was great. It was like our own little, and we would meet every week and make stuff. And then all of us have kind of gotten opportunities out of that. So yeah.
So let's speak about what you're doing right now.
I was about to say, you said this all led to work.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
Did it lead for you?
For me, looking back, the Chuckle Squad, we while we were still making videos, I then I was also in another comedy troupe called Peach Fuzz with one other friend from college, and we would make various 2-minute it was kind of 2-person 30 within 30 seconds to 2-minute videos, and they were live comic strips, I would say, just absurd jokes based around absurd stories based around one joke essentially. And through making those, I got an opportunity at a pretty big ad agency to write copy, which I didn't know what that meant in the slightest.
But it was like a Don Draper job. You went, you bought a suit.
I didn't even know anything about copywriting. I was just like, oh, cool, commercials. Anybody could write commercials. So it was just very funny to go from making videos about that were just about making it rain with Mr. Belding to then very trick photography with my beard, and then to just go making a commercial for Google and NBC and stuff like that, which was really exciting. And Sony Vaio, I did a bunch of those. It was really random. Just a funny place to be. I was that keen millennial that they were like, oh wait, this kid's got it. He has videos that have views.
Glasses are made out of plastic.
Yeah, so let's hire him. And I worked there for a while, for 2 years, writing copy, doing voiceovers for various brands. I was the voice of Turtle Beach. Yeah, it was weird. I still do voiceovers at my current job, which I'll currently get to. Yeah. But I will. But yeah, so in any event, I did that for a while, and it's really draining to write copy when you move out here to not do that. It's really awful. So you're kind of oh, I really need to go do something else with my time. So I hit up one of my friends who's a music producer, and who's also in a band, and he was just like, yeah, you can make a music video for me. So then I started making music videos. That led to something. I got nominated for Berlin Music Video Award. I went to Berlin for it.
Berlin Music Video. What was the band?
This band Behaviors. They're no longer around actually. But
did one of them also die?
Actually, that is true. One of them, yeah, sadly. But yeah, so that's the reason. But in any event,
seriously,
yeah.
You keep making that joke.
It is weird that the first time around you were joking, second time around it's actually serious.
History repeats itself. First is tragedy, then is farce.
But in any event, so I made some videos for them. Then I made videos for this other band, which is a bit bigger. Then I made a video for this DJ, which is really big. Who was big, and then...
Now, when you sit down to direct a music video, what is the first thing you do in terms of, you listen to the song and try to figure out what visuals you're getting from it? Do you sit with the band and, brainstorm with them? How does that process work?
So, essentially, I get the song and I listen to it hundreds, thousands of times. I just sit there listening to the song over and over again. On my couch, in my car, on my way to work, while I'm at work, in the elevator, every possible opportunity I find to listen to that same song over and over again. It begins to this is going to sound so lame, Hollywood writer, but it's just a story just comes to you, and you start to develop more and more of a narrative in your head. and and then like you just like shape it more and more, and then you eventually just, I don't know like why necessarily, but I just have a really easy time picturing a story when listening to a song. It's something that I've always kind of done even as a kid. I would just listen to a song and I would like kind of tell a story in my mind about it. And now I make the videos for it, which is kind of cool. So it's weird though, because you'll write a story that's so strange. But like with me, I have a background of writing narratives, so my music videos are all narrative driven. They're all kind of short films that go to the song. The band is never in it performing or anything like that. It's not a lame music video like a montage or anything like that. It's always telling some kind of story. So it really comes about like it's I don't know, it's just like I write like a really strange story and I hope that people get behind it, and sometimes they do, and it's really, but that's the hardest part, is writing something that the band will agree upon.
Because imagine you get a lot of different
back and forth.
Ideas,
but then like this is not what the song is about at all, you know.
And I recently collaborated with a band called the Knox, who like they opened for Bieber. They're growing. They just had that new song for the when they premiered the iPhone X. Like it was their song that was like with the emojis rapping and stuff like that.
Okay, I saw that.
So I did a video for them, and I wrote it's a DJ duo, and me and one of the DJs, we came up with this story together. We wrote this whole story together, and by the time it came to actually produce it, it became really hard because there were so many moving parts. There wasn't so much time to do it, and then I rewrote another entirely different treatment. And he was down for it, but then the label found it too disgusting, because honestly it was. And then I wrote another treatment, and then everybody kind of agreed on it, and it was based off of like an idea I had mixed with like a character that the lead singer just wanted to in the video. So I found a way to incorporate that character in my story, and it was that's another way. Okay. And then more recently I did a video for this like pretty big French DJ, and I just wrote the treatment once, and then I didn't think anything of it, and then I just found out that like, so that treatment that you wrote, that DJ's really down for it. I'm like, any notes? And they're like, no, just go make it in Barcelona. I'm like, okay, cool. So then I went to Barcelona.
Well, I had a note on this. Yeah, you went and shot a music video in Barcelona. Like, how was that?
It was wacky. It was really cool. It was kind of funny to like, I mean, it's kind of funny to just be thrown into that scenario where you are making stuff and then you get an opportunity like that to just travel the world and make stuff.
Yeah. And you told me this story where you missed like your flight. There was some issue with your flight, so you lost a whole day.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I missed my flight, like going there. I was at the airport 4 hours beforehand, and like, sure, I was at a bar drinking, but I wasn't like drunk.
Wait a second.
And I went to the terminal, to the precise gate where the plane was leaving from 45 minutes before at the precise time they said that boarding is going to start. So 45 minutes before before takeoff, and then they said that because everyone was there early, we called your name, you were the only one not there, so we left. And I'm like, I was so upset. Like, I'm still like breathing from it.
That's
now airlines are leaving early.
That's amazing. One, that they just leave.
Yeah, I was blown away.
And two, when you said you missed your flight, I didn't expect you to have actually been in the airport.
Oh, I was straight up there, like 3-4 hours. Like,
so you didn't miss it. They left without you.
They left without me. They knew I was there. It was annoying.
They knew that you got through security.
Upset.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. Oh.
It's a bummer.
That would be your airline leaving early.
I would leave it. You know what? I applaud this airline. I'm sorry, Captain.
It wasn't cool, man.
If my airline would be like, no, everyone's not here 45 minutes early, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Going.
What was the name of this video and band song?
So it was a song titled More Mess, and it was by this French DJ Kungs, Kungs, and then it featured this pop singer named Ali Mers, and then this other this rapper named Coley.
And I watched the video for this, and it was a lot of people like dancing
all over
through
the
the streets of Barcelona, and like everybody's like kind of singing along. Kind of turns into like a fun little energetic party.
Yeah, it was pretty wacky. We didn't have too much time to do it. It was just like all one day. and it was really
You're just loading vans up with people and just running around town.
moving fast. It really didn't feel like I was there, to be honest.
Now, music videos, and it's funny because I was talking to somebody about this just the other day. Where are these music? Like, where do music videos play now? Like,
MTV, TRL. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's
It's back.
the thing.
Carson Daly, fires them up.
I was talking to somebody who she had done some music video directing, and she said that like she really has to think when she's directing a music video that this is going to be viewed on people's phones. This is the number one place people are going to see this. And I realize that the only time I ever watch music videos now is when they pop up in my Twitter feed, and I'm like, oh, let me watch this. So, like, do you have to, like when you're making these things, how do you think about that in terms of how they're going to be seen and where they're going to be seen, and how much does that affect your concepts and stuff like that?
I mean, I don't really... I understand that that's how people... take in media now, but I really, I wish I used the word like ingest media rather than take in. Yeah. that would have sounded smarter. You should edit that.
Okay.
Somehow. I'm not going to say it again, but just take the bites of my words and kind of edit that.
I'm going to cobble it together.
Do people ingest media differently now? And I understand that, and it's certainly on my mind. However, I don't really let it affect the creativity of the video. I think people ultimately gravitate towards a good story and a good video, so I try to make that as great as possible. So, I mean, I don't change anything particularly about my videos. I still try to shoot it on the best possible camera. I don't try to shoot it on a camera that I'm like, yo, listen, people are going to be watching on their phones.
Yeah, might as well shoot
no one
it
cares.
Yeah.
I shoot it on a really nice camera because personally I would only want to make something as best as it could be. So,
and my implication isn't that people don't care. My implication is more like I feel like it's got to be harder to get it out. It has to be simultaneously easier because all the artist has to do is tweet it, but also harder because we don't just have a network on in the background of our day where they would just air this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is something but it is shoved in your face all over the place, like on Facebook, Twitter, all these different various social platforms, but I mean, that's kind of only if you really want it. You can very easily just scroll past it. So,
yeah.
And I mean, yeah, the music videos doesn't really have a place on TV anymore, but I kind of appreciate that because it's giving a forum for bands that wouldn't have the opportunity to be on TV to have, like, a place to have their video seen as much as a Kanye West video, if it's worth it, if it deserves it.
And good, something good will find its audience. If the video is good. It's also with like writing and articles. If it doesn't almost matter where it's published these days. If something is a good essay or a good article, it finds its way around.
Life finds a way.
I mean, I'd like to believe that.
Yeah.
But that it is. But you see so much good shit being made that doesn't go anywhere, and it's something that. It's a little frustrating.
Now you also work with Disney.
Yeah. So my full-time job is I'm a creative manager for multi-platform at Disney Channel, which means I basically write, direct, produce, and pitch short-form content, which is shorts and little short-form series, music videos, as well as main title sequences for the show. Okay. So I do a bunch of music videos for Disney Channel as well. I've done that's actually like those videos. I've done some like really easy videos for Disney, and they've accumulate crazy traffic just because it's Disney.
Disney,
yeah. So it's really nuts that the amount of traffic they get. But I mean, that's kind of it's almost expected. But I also do some videos for them where like you don't get as much traffic as you would expect, which is a little gnarly. But in any event. Yeah, so I do a ton of short series, and when I say short series, I mean like we'll have a show that airs on Disney Channel, and they'll be like, hey man, how do we keep this going? In between seasons, how do we keep our audience engaged? How do we bring new viewers on? So it's my team's job to come up with ideas and then pitch them. So for example, we have a show called Raven's Home, which is the new Raven Simone show from That's So Raven. She's now a mom, and she has kids, and she lives with her best friend Chelsea in the same house.
Well,
They're
that makes
divorced
me
moms.
feel old.
So yeah, but they but in any event, it's like, so now my team is now coming up with various pitches to do. How do we keep a show like that going in between seasons to engage our audience and all that? So
Raven's
it's
Home
really
was broken
fun.
into.
Yeah, right. But it is a lot of fun. I love working with kids. It feels like I'm a camp counselor a lot of the time, which is hilarious. But for kids that have 1 million Instagram followers,
And that's interesting how you got to keep people engaged in between seasons, because there aren't traditional seasons anymore of TV. There isn't a traditional time. Like, I noticed this with almost every show. There's always some weird thing that pops up online in between that it's like keeping you engaged. And I'd imagine that would go doubly so for to keep kids engaged for programming for them.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's something that with how we digest media. But now it's not. You don't have to watch it on TV. We have like the Disney Channel app. We just started this new app called Disney Now, where we have all of our channels on one app, on one platform now, and it's basically you can watch whatever you want at any point. So it is kind of crazy where like kids will have the opportunity to rewatch stuff that they want at any show they want. But we still have to create the new stuff for them to kind of keep
Kids
them.
these days,
keep
we
them
used to have to
excited.
sit on the couch and wait for your show to come on.
Yeah, we would have to sit through commercials and wait for new stuff to come back, but not anymore. They get it whenever they want. What did we do?
I don't know, but I noticed this with like my brother's daughter. She doesn't understand the concept of like fast forward, rewind, like you have to wait for it, commercials. She's at my parents' house and they're watching something on TV. She has no patience for the commercials because she's just like,
I love commercials. It's nice.
Well, I don't love commercials, but
Nice little break. Watching something, it's too much.
But I'm also like, I'm not one of these people who, like, if I'm home and something I want to watch is on, I'll sit there through the commercials because I'm not gonna like well, what am I gonna do? What, sit in the other room for 10 minutes till it gets on my
Get all
DVR
stubborn and sit in the other room like,
yeah.
you're
I
not
don't
using your
wanna
time
go in
efficiently, Will.
I think I'm using my time. And during the commercials, I do things. Like, I'll read, like, an article in Entertainment Weekly or something
By
like
Dana
that.
Schwartz.
Yeah, exactly. By Dana Schwartz. Dana Schwartz is coming up a lot
Yeah.
on this. No, that actually happened before we
Before
started
this
recording.
So for you, those of you listening at home, this is the first time Dana Schwartz has been mentioned.
Yes, but won't be the last. When she moves to Los Angeles, we should have her on the podcast.
We should.
It's also creepy that we know she's moving to Los Angeles. She's just a person.
She's just a freelance writer that works for Entertainment Weekly.
So, Kevin, where can the people find out about what you're working on, what you're going to be working on, what you've already worked on? Do you have a website? You got a Twitter? How do we know when there's a new music video you direct? How do we find out about it?
I have a Instagram. I have a Twitter, which is both just my name, Kevin Ice, EIS, my last name. And I usually just post something on there sometimes, but I don't know. I guess sometimes an article, like a certain publication, will release my video. Billboard does it sometimes. It depends what band it is. If it's a popular band, it'll be released through some kind of publication. If it's for some influencer, we try to get them to post it. You know, it's always a different.
So where should I gotta post
if there's
something
like
here.
if you want to like
is
look,
there a hub?
just Google Kevin Ice. Just go to kevinice.com.
That's a thing?
Yeah, that's a
Then we'll
thing.
go there.
It's a thing.
And if you are a good listener to the podcast, you've already Googled Kevin Ice. You've already been to kevinice.com.
Listen, I was top 10. You should have been there. I don't think I had a website back then, but
that's true. But you should have been from the second he was on this fucking podcast.
Yeah,
5
y'all
years
should have
ago,
been aware.
You should have been. Honestly, he shouldn't have even had to come back because you should all be like, look, we're fans.
We know it's
what he's
enough.
been doing.
This
We
is all
know it's
redundant.
happening. Yeah.
that'd be cool.
So Kevin.
Like Spielberg doesn't need to do the talk show circuit, you know.
Exactly.
You guys should get him on the podcast.
We're gonna get Steven Spielberg and Dana Schwartz. Those are our big
Our big
wish
kids.
lists
Yeah.
that we can have on. So we can't not talk about this.
Well, 3 straight white men are now going to talk about Harvey Weinstein.
Well, this is the thing.
Oh, you want to talk about him?
Well, I mean, look, we do a pop culture show, and this is the thing that the people talk about. I mean, there was a part of me that, after we booked you, I'm like, oh, fuck, I wish we had a woman on this week.
Sorry, Kevin.
Because of this one topic.
Of course, yeah.
Because women can't talk about Star Wars, is what you're implying.
No, I'm saying I want to. Okay, no. So, Harvey Weinstein basically sexually assaulted everyone, we found out.
Yeah. Except for Dame Judi Dench.
How shocked are we by this, or are we not shocked? Because I'm like, simultaneously, I'm not shocked he aggressively came on to young women. I am maybe shocked by the sheer number and the stature of some of these women. And am I naive for being shocked at that aspect of it?
Kevin, as a Hollywood power player.
I mean, it's. I think it's awful. It's totally disgusting, and I think it's really awful. It's whatever's happening in Hollywood is totally disgusting, and that behavior is abhorrent. But I think I'm so surprised at how it's come up so much, with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, Donald Trump when he was running, 14 women came forward.
Yeah.
And
he's president.
Yeah, so it's just something that I feel is really kind of is. I mean, I'm fumbling my words here because there's always something that I feel like people can manipulate. It's 2017. Like, he fumbled his words, so that means he was probably he was blah blah blah. But no, it's the worst thing. And like, this guy is fucking disgusting, and he's a horrible human being, and he should never be able to work in the industry again. He should be thrown in prison. He's a horrible piece of pond scum.
Well, apparently, New York doesn't have a statute of limitations for sexual assault, and I think this is gonna take him to a bad place. I think they are gonna pursue, because I think we'll see criminal charges get pursued against him now. But one thing that I'm noticing in the last day or so is the pivot away from Harvey Weinstein and more to the system of everyone around him, the enablers who, the agents that knew about this, the managers, the assistants,
Well, Mark Harris had a really good tweet, because everyone was like
his brother
shitting on all the actors and actresses, not really actresses, but the actors who were like, why didn't they ever say anything? And Mark Harris said, look, like, the people who really know what was going on were other people who work for the Weinstein Company involved with settlements, the publicists, people like that. And he's like, maybe you should be turning your anger towards them. I know you don't know their names, but you know, like, George Clooney's name. But, like, does George Clooney have anything to do with any of this? And Clooney had a good interview where he said, look, he's like, I heard things in the past, but when you hear something like, this actress got this job because, like, of something that happened with her and Harvey Weinstein, you dismiss it, not because you're dismissing Harvey Weinstein might be a sexual predator, but you're taking it in like, oh, that's sexist to say that's the only way she could get this job. So I understand how all this stuff then ends up feeding into itself and nothing ever ends up happening. And that's really unfortunate.
Well, I saw someone wrote today, they were saying, when Miramax was owned by Walt Disney Company, all of these settlements that had to go through, when you get sued during a settlement, they would sue the parent company as well. So Disney was named on these lawsuits. And you're telling me that someone at Disney, a lawyer, wasn't looking like, hey, where's this money going towards? Because they said, Eisner definitely knew. And there were people that knew, that these weren't just hush money for consensual relationships.
Now, pragmatically, though, once somebody, like,
takes the money
and settles, it's not like they can say anything.
Right.
And nor should they, because then you'd be outing somebody who might not want to talk about their sexual abuse. But at the same time, I can't remember what podcast it was. It might have been like the Political Gab Fest or something, but they were talking about NDAs. Yeah. And there's one thing if you take the money in like to settle, but it's another thing if you go into some company, you have to sign an NDA that then
for something that it's going to happen.
That's something that's going to happen about that then you feel like you have a moral responsibility to speak out on, and then you can't, and that does seem wrong to me.
Yeah. It's like, what I'm citing this thing now for something that I may witness 3 years from now. Exactly.
Like I said, the thing that really, I think, struck me more than the fact, I'm not shocked the guy's a creep.
Yeah.
But
he looks like a creep.
But he does look like a creep.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to, like, all guys who look like Harvey Weinstein might not be creeps, but come on. I mean, if this guy wasn't a producer, no one would have ever been alone with him ever in life.
It looks like a big moldy marshmallow.
Yep.
He does look like a moldy marshmallow. And he's a bit. Have you guys ever met him or been around him?
No.
I was once at the premiere of Blue Valentine, and he was there, and I was like, I didn't talk to him, but I was kind of standing in an area around, and like he was a presence. Like he's a big guy, and he's an intimidating looking guy. But like Gwyneth Paltrow, Mira Sorvino, Angelina Jolie. The thing that shocks me about all that, these are people who are like also like Hollywood royalty. Yeah. So clearly he had no qualms in
he really didn't care.
Going after Spielberg's goddaughter.
Yeah. I mean, it's all these.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
he's really just a monster.
So now, also, I think we're now going to start hearing about more people. There was the head of Amazon Studios, which got suspended. I think people are being emboldened now to talk about this, and I think a lot more of these guys are going to start. We're going to start hearing about a lot more people like this.
But to be fair to the entertainment industry, this is a problem in all industries.
Are you hashtagging yes all industries?
Yes, I am. No, I'm saying that to be fair to this industry, it's more high profile because it's the entertainment industry. But in all industries, there is some version of this going on that people are allowed to get away with. Here's the thing that I keep coming back to: what responsibility do you think someone like a Matt Damon has in this? Because I mean, people, he's someone who Harvey Weinstein helped his career, but I could also believe that he doesn't know what's going on either. Or am I being Pollyannish about that?
No, I mean, none of us know the answer to that. I think it's safe to assume that we just don't know, because it's really, he's somebody that was close to him, but I don't know how close he was to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knew about his personal life.
But we could say Ben Affleck's guilty, right?
Well, I mean, Ben Affleck's always guilty.
I mean, he's just like, Ben Affleck's a weird dude, and like what he did is really messed up. But to say that people were aware, I mean, I just don't know the answer to that.
And I think that now I have to be careful here, but I think that's one thing that drives me a little crazy about the Twitter atmosphere, and it kind of goes back to that that book, So You've Been Publicly Shamed, and things like that, where like I saw Ryan Gosling make a statement about it, and all of a sudden people were shitting on Ryan Gosling. You didn't even say any of the women's names. Like, wait, why was that now something that he had to do? And Ryan Gosling has nothing to do with any of this, but he heard people to speak out, and he spoke out. And it's like, why are you shitting on him now? Like,
nothing is ever good enough, and someone's going to have a problem no matter which action you take.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can never win with the internet. And then Twitter suspended Rose McGowan, which was a bad move by Twitter.
I think it's the theme of 2017.
No, wait, what'd she call James Corden?
Like fucking piglet? After he made jokes about Harvey Weinstein.
I had an issue with James Corden taking a bunch of kissy face selfies with Sean Spicer. That was my
I don't know why why Sean Spicer was at the Emmys. That was so disturbing. That guy is contributing to what the hell's going on in the country, and now we're all like, oh, isn't that adorable? He's here.
Look how funny.
That was, I was not. There's only been, of all the episodes of Will Sean Podcast, there's only been one that I was not on. And it was the Emmy episode, because I was in London. It was the Emmy episode.
Did you guys have Sean Spicer on?
Sean Spicer was the guest.
Yes.
And I was outraged, Sean, that you chose to have him on.
Listen, he was in town.
But yeah, I never really got to talk about that. Sean, that was fucking crazy. Sean Spicer was at the Emmys. That was stupid and distracting and upsetting.
It was just a poor decision. Just like it wasn't thought through.
I'm surprised that Stephen Colbert hosting made that call. Like, I'm surprised. That seems like
he should be responsible. He should take responsibility.
He personally made the call. He was the one that actually called Sean Spicer. So, I'm glad that we pivoted off of the uncomfortable topic of Harvey Weinstein.
Well, let me just say something. Let me just quickly the Rose McGowan thing.
Yeah.
Twitter with how they ban people Twitter's got a lot of shit to figure out here.
They got to ban Trump.
That's not going to happen because he gets engagement. He's an influencer.
They said they banned Rose McGowan because she tweeted out someone's phone number.
Yeah.
I don't know, which I guess you shouldn't be able to do, but also at that point, maybe Twitter, rather than ban somebody, maybe Twitter should be able to just delete the tweet with someone's phone number and send a message to her and be like, you're not allowed to.
Slide into her DMs.
Instead of just like, nope, you're banned, we don't tell you. Because that's the thing, they don't tell you why. And I saw that she got banned, and there was a good 12 hours before they released a statement on why she got banned. And
whose phone number did she put out there?
I don't even know that she did. Did she put out someone's phone number?
I think that was the thing, but I can't remember whose now. It wasn't Harvey Weinstein's, though. So anyway, everything's terrible in Hollywood, but will things get better?
Nah. It's just a different kind of terrible. Every day brings a different kind of terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. We live in interesting times.
But I'll tell you why it is a good time to be alive. Because we've got another fucking Star Wars movie coming out. Gavin, you're a Star Wars guy, right?
No.
Really?
Nope. Not for me.
You're kidding me.
Star Wars is not for me.
Sorry, I didn't get the pre-interview done.
Oh.
Gonna be honest with you. I just don't.
Are you Star Trek or are you just not into it at all?
I'm just not into it. It's just not my style.
What is it that...
I'm the only person. Everyone else that agrees with me is probably will automatically be a best friend. But and I see.
So have you never been into it as a kid? Like you just never?
I tried so hard. All my friends would force me to watch it, and I'm like, well, how does this make sense? Why are we cool with this? Everything's all right. Like. Why is this it's just so strange to me.
Do you like outer space stuff at all, or are you like kind of like meh?
Honestly,
space?
now that I think, I don't think I like sci-fi. Anything sci-fi.
Really?
Yeah, I just like
man who is deeply rooted in reality.
I love stupidity. That's what I get off on. Is just stupidity. Give me stupid humor and horror movies and action movies. But Star Wars, I don't know. There's something about that world, that fantasy world, that I just think is a little off-putting.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
No.
I hate Game of Thrones. Too many characters. They're all identical. Why do you guys pretend that you like a show like that?
There's a little guy.
It's good production value. It's well produced. Yeah. It's good. It's
got dragons
production
and tits.
design like a motherfucker. But I tried watching the first 2 seasons, and I'd like to consider myself an educated adult, but I needed my friend who already watched it to be sitting there and explain every scene to me.
And you watched 2
Why has this
seasons?
happened? Why is there a Lannister?
Who's that? Who they?
Yeah, I watched 2 full seasons, and then my friend was like, yo, man, you're on your own. And I'm like, I can't.
I got to admit, like the first season of Game of Thrones, which I very much liked.
I was answering a lot of questions.
Every person is a white guy with a beard.
It was back then it was all white people with beards. Back in fake medieval.
So Star Wars isn't your cup of tea.
So what'd you think of your Star Wars trailer?
I didn't watch it yet.
Okay.
And by yet, I mean I won't get to it.
No.
Yeah. I hope I'm not ruining anything.
No, you're not.
Okay, cool.
You're not.
Haters gonna hate.
You know,
I'm not a hater. I just don't like it.
There you go.
Hate it.
Well, let me ask you, Sean.
Yes.
What did you think of the new Star Wars trailer?
I watched it exactly one time, and I'm very excited for the movie, but that's it. Like, at this point, you're going to get something good. I didn't want to see too much of it. I wanted to, because the trailers they're a tease. You don't know they can manipulate plot. You're not really going to tease.
There's a lot of stuff in this trailer in particular that looks manipulated.
And it was market tested to within an inch of its life within Disney.
I am not. Yeah, they didn't market test it with you. They didn't say, "Hey, Kevin, come in. We want you to watch this trailer."
Not me.
The one guy just don't show it to Kevin.
To get Kevin
Everyone at
room.
Disney.
Yeah, I don't see that stuff. I did some promos for the Force Awakens. Was that?
Oh, well, I feel like you're bearing a lead, Star Wars lead here. Then you did some promos.
Well, I was at the premiere. I was like on the red carpet for it.
What?
Yeah, because And it was
So that's a wasted red carpet ticket.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I had to work the whole time.
Kevin.
I had to stay up for like 48 hours after that
To cut it together?
or not 48, just the next 12 hours because it had to air the next day on Disney Channel.
So you saw the movie at the premiere?
No. I went to the red carpet, interviewed like with this.
Oh, you
kid,
interviewed people.
and interviewed all the stars, and then.
So you've got to meet Daisy Ridley.
I did, yeah. And I met
How was she?
Harrison,
Was she
I met
nice?
Harrison Ford.
How was Harrison Ford? Was he
Very
stoned?
nice. No, he was. I don't know. He was very nice though. He was very cool. They were all really cool.
Yeah.
And they all gave us more time than we needed, which was really great. But yeah, it was just the most intense red carpet experience I've ever had.
I could imagine.
Because it was the first. What was it? The first time Star Wars was back in 5 years. Comes
Yeah.
back every 5
No,
years.
it was in
There's, like, little
it was
episodes.
in 10 years.
I feel like Adam Driver's
Why
not
did we
good,
get that excited
not good
about
red
it?
carpet interview.
Adam Driver?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. How was Adam Driver?
I don't remember. I don't remember if I interviewed him.
Maybe he's the one person who didn't give you any
Yeah, I
time.
don't
No.
think I did.
He was
interview
too
him.
busy acting like his character from Girls.
Yeah. No, we didn't get him actually.
So I know the trailer. I'm excited, but like, how excited am I going to get? It's
There are misleading edits in
Yes.
that. There's no way that Kylo Ren in that scene is blowing up Leia.
No.
And there's no way, even though you might think he's going to blow up Leia because
movie magic.
Leia's not going to be in any movie after this one.
Spoiler alert.
But there's also a big moment at the end where it either looks like Kylo Ren's going to the light or Rey's going to the dark. But I don't even know if they're talking to each other in
No.
that scene. You know?
But the most important thing that everyone's talking about are the Porgs. Do you know what the Porgs are?
I did. I saw it was like a little segment on the news where they were like, "Look at this new character in Star Wars," and it was like a big fat guinea pig.
Merchandising.
And it was like,
yeah. And it's
gonna be the new
like
doll.
Chewbacca's got a buddy now, an equally unintelligible buddy,
So is it this movie's BB-8?
basically.
well, BB-8's still in this one. What I was more wondering, is it going to be this movie's Ewoks? And I like Ewoks.
Well, hot take.
Well, a lot of people don't
Yeah.
like Ewoks.
No, I think it's going to be
I
this
don't like
movie's
Ewoks.
minion.
I didn't think you did.
Yeah. I think it's going to be more like the minion of this movie. Like these bunch
I
of
don't
little
like
identical,
minions.
marketable.
So there's more than one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a
They
whole
live
planet.
they live on the island that Luke is living on.
That's all he's eating. Well, that's what they don't show you is that Luke has been subsisting. He just takes his lightsaber. It's like a pork shish kebab. These things are like space rats.
That'd be really amazing if you had like a you could put kebab on a
That's
one of
it.
those
It's a rotisserie something.
lightsabers.
I am already pro Porg.
Are
though,
you?
Because I like the way Porgs have been photoshopped into things already. It amuses me. So I'm like,
So there's
okay.
the silliness you want.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I'm in.
Wait, like what's an example of?
Oh, I'm blanking now.
Okay.
I'm blanking on all example. I remember
Did you
the
have
next
to call
day-
me out like
Yeah,
that?
but I remember the next day, everywhere I was going, like, oh, there's a Porg in this photo, and look at this Porg. And I'm like, yeah, this Porg is going to be good. Plus, I like saying Porg.
Okay.
I think it's a fun thing to say. It's better than Gungan.
Yeah.
Why do you think they went with Porg?
Because it sounds like pork. I don't know. Because it probably doesn't mean anything
So it's
inoffensive in 70 languages. Like they had to look this up to make sure it doesn't mean something like testicle in Korean.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I hope it means testicle in some language.
Yeah, in
great.
Icelandic.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Porgs. I'm looking for. Now, Kevin, as not being a Star Wars fan, you might find it interesting or pathetic about how we behave when it comes to Star Wars tickets. So, Star Wars, and this could have been an enemy of the podcast, but it's not.
Yeah.
Star Wars jumped the gun. What they said was, we're going to put up the tickets for sale after the trailer airs during Monday Night Football.
With the weirdest Monday Night Football of all time, by the way.
Oh yeah, people were talking about that.
So I had the TV already on to Monday Night Football before I left for work that morning. I had a whole bunch of websites saved on the computer that I could just like the direct links to the ArcLight, the Landmark, AMC, so I didn't have to go putzing around. I had everything planned, and then they jumped the gun. I happened to be on Twitter as I was walking to my car in the parking lot from work. I'm like, I still got a good hour and a half. And then I look on Twitter and I see someone like, got my Star Wars tickets. I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck you. What? Huh? And then I look and I sent up, and like seats were already disappearing at the shows I had an eye on.
Did you get it?
I I sent a panic text to Sean and my friend Melody and our friend Lorenzo, and I was like, I said I was going to get the tickets, but I have failed this. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. And then Sean was on it. Was on it. And I'm driving, and I swear to God, like, this was the most dangerous. I'm checking websites and texting him about, like...
And I'm sending I'm sending screenshots of seating charts at different theaters, and then we're texting like a maniac. Little do we know that Lorenzo's dealing with his fiance's parents who are getting evacuated from the Anaheim Hills fires, and is trying to figure out the logistics of how to get like his future in-laws up here. And he goes to his phone and goes, "What the fuck is going on?" He's
like, "I'm fine with anything you get." So we are going to see it.
Shifts focus.
Yeah. We're going to see it at some theater. I don't even know what it is.
No, we're going to see it at the what is it, down in Playa Vista? The what are they called? What's the theater chain?
I don't know. I've never been there.
Oh,
I'm curious. You can't get tickets like that.
They went sold out. Everything was just selling like crazy.
When does the movie come out?
December 14th.
You can't show up December 14th and ask for 2 tickets.
Well, here's the other thing. They might add more shows, but we can't take that chance. We don't know. We need to know we have our tickets.
They always do. Whenever
but we don't know.
I don't want to see Star Wars, and I always end up seeing it like the day it comes out because everybody's like, "Come, we're going."
But we don't know when they end the shows. And also, we want to be centered. We want good. So what? We're going like at 8.
8 o'clock. Yeah.
It was at 8 o'clock or 8:15.
It doesn't. I don't know. We'll figure. It's like 8:15.
Sean, I don't know where this theater is.
I've been there. It's very nice.
I'm just going to drive to you, and I'm going to ride with you to this theater. Is that
good.
okay?
Yep, we're going to
have time. So, do you like stupid, funny things, right?
Anything stupid I'm into.
Do you like Rick and Morty?
I'm starting to get into it, actually. I'm not so privy to it, but I'm really getting into it now.
It's a good show. It's a quality program. I
was watching like the how it was made process, and that was really interesting.
Well, look, like most people, I enjoy the TV show Rick and Morty. And like most nerds, I enjoy a good esoteric nostalgic reference. Mm-hmm. So I chuckled along when Rick mentioned his love for McDonald's short-lived Mulan theme promotion of Szechuan sauce.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Why do I say Szechuan?
Oh.
Am I wrong?
Yep.
Szechuan? How do you say it?
Szechuan.
Szechuan? How come I've never heard it that way?
Well, you haven't watched that episode of Rick and Morty.
I haven't.
And you don't remember the short-lived Mulan-themed promotion of Szechuan sauce, a product I only vaguely remembered, and most Rick and Morty fans probably never heard of to begin with. McDonald's then, in its infinite wisdom, decided to bring the sauce back. It'd be a fun tie-in with the show, and everyone would get a good chuckle out of it. But they didn't realize one thing. Rick and Morty fans are obsessive assholes. First off, okay, bad on you, McDonald's, for not understanding the zeitgeist and only sending something like 5 packets to each store. But Rick and Morty fans, worse on you for acting like complete assholes about it. It's just some goddamn sauce. You fuckers were screaming at minimum wage workers, these poor assholes behind the counter who are forced all day to serve you goddamn McNuggets for minimum wage. You're screaming at them. These people have nothing to do with any of this. They don't know what this is. They don't know what Szechuan sauce is. You were jumping on counter. I saw a guy jumping on the counter and then like scream and like run backwards and then start running around screaming he was Pickle Rick like some moron. For what? A sauce that probably isn't even that good anyway. And that's why you, Rick and Morty fans, are this week's enemy of the podcast. Go fuck yourselves. Now I can't even enjoy the show. I can't even enjoy the show because you people are such assholes. It's insane.
Yeah, it's people going above and beyond. It's that obsession that really kind of it dissuades me from watching the show. Yeah. I mean, I want to get into it more and more, but it's like seeing what all these people do. I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to get into that. Maybe I don't want to turn into someone that jumps on top of the counter at McDonald's,
scream on Pickle Rick,
demanding Szechuan sauce. I messed that up.
You see these assholes parked outside for how angry they were. Oh, you wasted my day, McDonald's. I drove to 5 locations. I stood in line for 12 hours. And all these dudes look the same, by the way. All these guys are cut from the exact same mold. You know, you see what they when they're all lined up, and it's just one asshole after another. Toxic fan base is no good.
It's so weird because if I even if it was something I really wanted,
Yeah.
if I showed up at a place and they're like, we don't have it, I'd be like, well, that sucks. And then, you know what? I'd go home.
Yeah.
Or I'd go just do something else.
Yeah, that's a logical way to approach
People were
things.
paying thousands of dollars for one of these like Szechuan sauce things on eBay.
What?
A
Yeah.
woman traded her car.
Yeah.
Traded her car for a packet. And you know what? They're like McNugget packets. They're not like, it's not like a vat of sauce you're getting.
Wait, I'm having like why would she trade her car for a pack of sauce?
Tasty, who the fuck knows why?
And here, you know they're going to end up just putting it out eventually, regularly. So why even deal with it? They're probably going to, right? They're probably going to bring. I mean, is it even good?
I don't know.
I've never had
It
it.
doesn's matter. Nostalgia's
I
terrible.
don't want to try it, to be honest.
And by the way,
I would
goodbye,
try-
car.
300,
I would try
300
it.
years ago, all these assholes, they'd be into religion. Now they got Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The Szechuan sauce, I mean, is that like a sauce that's like somewhere else in society?
Yeah, in China. It's like from Milan.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, when I go to a Chinese restaurant, I don't think I've ever ordered anything with
There's the
Szechuan
Szechuan
sauce.
chicken.
Yeah, Szechuan chicken.
Is
Pronounce
that...
it with me.
Yeah. I don't know what this is from.
Szechuan chicken. I hear that a lot at like Chinese restaurants. Yeah,
Yeah.
Szechuan chicken.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Did you talk to the guy that just learned like last year what General Tsao was? I didn't even know
Oh,
this
that's
was a
good
thing.
chicken.
General Chow's pretty great.
I don't know anything about this.
There was,
I don't know.
What battle was
I don't
he
know about
involved
you.
in?
You know,
Yeah.
you gotta really... I mean, I'm down on a lot of Chinese restaurants in L.A. I don't think they're that great. Weirdly
I
enough.
don't think so.
I think
Well, 'cause you're from New
they have
York.
good Thai food, but not good Chinese food.
Yeah.
But right by where you live, there's a good Chinese place that I really like. One of the few I like. Foo's.
Oh, Foo's Palace?
Yeah.
That place, go there. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, man, that place is just popping off.
Is it
There's
kosher?
a line down There's a line down the block there at Foo's Palace.
I eat at Foo's. I'll go eat at Foo's anytime.
Okay.
Foods. I gotta try that.
Try Foo's. It's one of the better places. Let me tell you what. Have you ever eaten at the Toluca Lake Chinese Kitchen?
I don't think. Where's
Don't.
That? Where's? Oh, okay.
It's
Don't
across
tell me
the
where.
street from Patty's Diner.
Oh, okay.
And for years,
Yeah.
I would go past this Chinese food place, and I'm like, "What's the deal with this place? It always looks empty." But I mean, it's been there for years. It seems like it's like an institution of this neighborhood. What's going on here? And then a friend of mine was like, "Oh, we should have dinner," and he goes, "We could go here, we could go here," and then he said, "Or the Toluca Lake Chinese Kitchen," and I said, "You know, I've always wondered about that place." He goes, "Oh, it's great." Worst Chinese food I've ever had in my life.
What made it
was
so
terrible.
bad?
I don't know. They mixed it with a bunch of other shit. Like it's like I just want chicken, and there was like some like weird other.
Maybe it was Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. It just I didn't care for it. Even the egg roll didn't taste good. I'm like, what? How'd you fuck this up?
Yeah, it's an
The
egg roll.
wonton soup had like other shit in it. Like there's just supposed to be wonton and broth and like what are you doing? It really, I really hated it. And I've since been warning people against going.
That's Will's mission now. It's public service.
There's a good spot in West Hollywood, Kung Pao Bistro, that I like to get from, but it's expensive. It's too much. The only time I can get Chinese is when I'm at a buffet or like
Chinese
something like
buffet.
that.
We don't have good Chinese buffets out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, but you got Mexican food.
Yeah. But I
have it
kinda
too
miss
often.
it. Chinese food.
Me too.
So, I always like to end on a weird note. A cyber security scientist has issued a bizarre warning that sex robots could one day rise up and kill their owners if they are hacked into. With sex robots becoming increasingly popular and sophisticated, cybersecurity lecturer Nick Patterson revealed that the lifelike dolls could end up going all Terminator on us. The tech expert from Australia's Deakin University said hackers can hack into a robot or robotic device and have full control of the connections, arms, legs, and other attached tools like knives or welding devices. Once a robot is hacked, the hacker has full control and can issue instructions to the robot. So basically, you know, we know people can like hack into cars, so now they're gonna hack into our sex robots and kill us all.
And you know this is going to be a problem for you.
And we
as
all
well.
have sex robots, so this is a big issue.
Look, we're all going to have sex robots. One. Let me ask you, Kevin. You single? You with
Yeah,
someone?
I'm single.
Yeah, you're single, Sean. I'm single.
Yeah.
Let's go hit the clubs, guys.
I'm telling you, that's what we should be doing. But instead, 10 years from now, if we're all still lonely, fucking pathetic single people, we're all gonna have sex robots. You know it. And we're all gonna deny that we have them. Keep them in our closets.
Oh, I'll be forward about my sex robot.
I'm gonna take his out to public.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Lars and the Real Girl walking
Nice.
around with my sex doll.
Nice.
But I'm gonna be forward. It's my girl.
Apparently, the issue is that they're not engineering them with like the most up-to-date security.
Right, because all these like
protocols.
Internet of Things, you know, when Apple
Like
creates
they're
an
still running on
iPhone,
Microsoft 95.
yeah, when Apple creates a new computer or iPhone or whatever, that's like top level security protocols. When they're making these devices, they just need some little Wi-Fi enabled, you know, device. So they're just getting them from China. You know, there's nothing fancy about a lot of these devices. So
Like you, I mean, if you're gonna put your penis inside something, you're gonna want to make sure
that it can't.
that it can't kill you.
Yeah.
And
Although
hear that, kids?
that applies to not robots too.
I was gonna
But-
say, I feel like I haven't adhered to that rule.
But I feel like with a robot, there's I don't think I would get a robot that could legitimately turn against me. You
And
know
who's
what I
buying
mean?
a sex robot that has welding equipment attached to it?
Why would you have your set? Well, there's some kinky fantasies. people
Welding?
have. I don't know. I've seen some shit.
Okay.
I've been through a lot, John.
I
I don't see you with an arc welder in here
that's,
with a mask.
I mean, I wouldn't want my sex
good.
robot to have welding.
And on that
But,
note,
yeah, on that note, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on. the
Guys,
show.
it was a pleasure being here for the second time.
Well-
It's always a pleasure chatting to the two of you.
We'll have to have you back in 5 years.
Yeah, every
we're
5
still
years.
doing this.
Every 5 years, I
Well,
come
we're in our
back with an
40s.
update. How does that sound?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're going to be old.
And it's going to be the
when we come back.
2020s.
It's gonna be good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good show.
President Pete Juara.
Well, I'm looking forward to 5 years from now, guys.
All right.
It's gonna
What's
be
the date?
It's gonna be a good podcast.
One more time, tell the people where they can find you.
I'm Kevin Ice, EIS, and you can find me on at kevinice.com or type my name anywhere, and that's my tag for everything. So
It's easy.
easy
to remember.
easy peasy.
You can find me on all forms of social media at the Sean David. So, find me there.
And you can follow me on Twitter at The Real Will Link. On the show next week, we have Julie Pearson. Or is it Pearson?
You'll find out.
I'm already fucking this up. But she's I've seen her do a reading at a storytelling show that I was in? No. At. And she...
How do I use words?
Yes.
And she told a very funny story, and she's got a very funny blog, very funny writer. We're gonna have her on. We're gonna find out what she's all about.
Probably should have saved the Harvey Weinstein topic for her then.
Hey, we can always
Bring it
talk
up
about.
again.
We can bring
Yeah,
up-
let's-
Oh, it'll still be in the news.
Yeah.
So that's
And then we got a couple other guests that we're just looking for spots for on the calendar, but we got some people
some
coming up.
good ones
Yeah.
coming up, including, like I said, Chris Burgok.
And
who-
Ian Alda, who's been on the show before, we're going to have him back on.
Yeah.
He just directed a web series called The Michaels about two real-life Michaels who are married to each other and their lives. And he is in a play currently in downtown LA, I believe. So we're going to have him on to talk all about that.
Okay. So that's that. Thank you, Kevin, so much.
Thank you, guys.
For the Will Sean Podcast, I'm Sean David.
I'm Will Link.
We're finished.
We're finished.